Kia ora koutou katoa. My name is Rawere Love. Thank you for joining me today. Coming to you from Wellington, Ngāti Porniki of Aotearoa, New Zealand. I'm going to look at a story that involves weaponry by way of frequency. It's a well-known story and it's taken from Joshua chapter 6. Now Jericho was securely shut up because of the children of Israel. None went out and none came in. And the Lord said to Joshua, See, I have given Jericho into your hand, its king, and the mighty men of valor. You shall march around the city, all you men of war. You shall go all around the city once. This you shall do 6 days. And 7 priests shall bear 7 trumpets of ram's horns before the ark. And the 7th day you shall march around the city 7 times. And the priests shall blow the trumpets. And it shall come to pass, when they make a long blast with the ram's horn, and the people hear the sound of the trumpet, that all of the people shall shout with a great shout. Then the wall of the city will fall down, and the people shall go up, every man straight before him. We see here a precedent being set, which is frequency being used to pull down the walls of Jericho. Interesting enough, this was unconventional weaponry, because we see them marching around the city, we see them shouting, we see them blowing the trumpet. And they did this, can you imagine, for 7 days. On the 7th day, the walls of Jericho came down. A number of years ago, and I remember this, I got this prophecy just in a normal service, and I'll never forget it. And the Lord said this. He said that the next move is going to be loud. There's going to be clamour. It's going to be boisterous. But this is what he said. He said some people will be offended by the loudness, and because of it, they'll miss out on the move. Well, if you're one of these conventional ones and you don't like shouting, you don't like loudness, you need to read chapter 6 of Joshua, which I've just read. Because there, it was frequency being used in war. And that frequency was loud. There was a lot of shouting. We're now going to look at footage. Once again, it's LRAD, the weaponry that's been designed in order to use sound as a weapon.
Vancouver police have a controversial new weapon in their arsenal. It's a weapon that could be used for crowd control during the Olympic Games. CBC News broke the story today, and Eric Rankin has the latest reaction tonight. Eric?
Well, Vancouver police say it's simply a new high-tech public address system purchased used from another police force for about $17,000. Critics call it a sonic weapon, a sound gun, and fear it could be aimed at anti-Olympic protesters. One thing is clear, it's loud.
Irritating? That's just a fraction of its real volume. The LRAD, or long-range acoustic device, can cross the human threshold of pain, up to 150 decibels. Imagine a car alarm louder than a 747 jet engine. And Vancouver police are now the proud owners of a more compact, medium-range version of the device, the MRAD.
The purchase of this has nothing to do with the Olympics. Certainly the Olympics are coming. We're expecting large crowds, but we needed this before the Olympics.
But critics believe that's exactly why it's been purchased, to break up anti-Olympic protests. Developed for the U.S. military, it was first used by U.S. police to disperse crowds at the recent G20 summit in Pittsburgh, and on ships to repel Somali pirates. Vancouver police insist they'll mainly use the MRAD's other advertised feature as an ultra-powerful public address system to replace bullhorns, able to send a narrow 30-degree beam of sound over 300 meters. It was tested during this summer's celebration of light to warn boaters away from the fireworks barge, and it can be used during natural disasters to direct rescue operations. But the VPD won't rule out using it to control protesters.
They could be used if the situation arose. You know, we, like I said, we carry firearms, not ever expecting to use them, but sometimes we have to use them.
Critics call it a dangerous acoustic weapon, the new taser.
If you have something like this that is yet another high-tech gadget that is being introduced on the public, sprung on us a few months before the Olympics, when we've all known for years and years the Olympics was going to come along, that's a serious problem.
This SFU criminology professor agrees, saying the audio beam could injure bystanders who are not part of an Olympic protest, possibly causing hearing loss. even brain damage.
I think that essentially what we're looking at is a very serious weapon being deployed.
Now, Eric, given the controversy, are Vancouver police willing to turn off the sound gun function?
The short answer, no. They insist this is just one more tool in their tool chest, along with batons, tear gas, and real guns. But they admit to me they've yet to test the sonic cannon function. And critics say they shouldn't even be considering using it until all officers are fully trained and its safety fully assessed. Gloria?
Eric Rankin reporting live downtown Vancouver.
Our RAD will be the first of many sound weapons that will be employed. In the book of Joshua chapter 6, we found that Jericho was all about frequency. And the weaponry that was engaged there did involve a lot of clamour. Sometimes we may find that the sound of our prejudice, the sound we do not like, may be the sound that God will use. For instance, when we go into a meeting and there's a lot of shouting, there's a lot of marching in the spirit, there's a lot of clamour basically. I mean, that may not be the sound you prefer for a conventional nice service, yet it may be the sound that God is employing in order to pull down the strongholds. As mentioned previous, that the prophecy that I got, that some people would be offended because of the loudness of this current move. I've seen this actually take place. I'm actually seeing that prophecy fulfilled, because much of the technology that we're involved in is very loud because it involves the timbrel, which is the percussion. And because of it, some people get offended because they don't like the idea that it has to be so loud. We don't purposely choose it to be loud. It just so happens that when you hit a point of controversy, like as in the reference found in Joshua chapter 6, things go a bit ballistic. There are dispatchments that take place. And so as in Jericho's situation, so will it be true of much of what God is doing today. I believe our RAD will be only one of many sound weapons. I believe we may see in the future, and this is how I see it, there'll be sound bombs. Sound can penetrate through anything. Sound is a weapon.